You're listening to What the FMCG, a podcast series from FieldAssist featuring conversations with eminent industry leaders of great brands in the CPG industry.
What does it take to be an agile sales leader? How do you overcome challenges in translating strategy into execution? To seek answers to these questions, I am talking to a dynamic sales leader, someone who's worked really hard to grow his brand at a 30% CAGR consistently for the last 10 years. Kartikay Mehta is a sales director for Unibic Foods India, one of the fastest growing biscuit brands in the country. And he comes with a solid FMCG background with more than 2 decades of experience in the industry. Welcome to the FieldAssist podcast, Kartikay.
Thank you, Param, for having me here.
It was lovely meeting you a few weeks back. I actually saw something very interesting in your office. A lot of cricketing stats on Don Bradman. Tell me, what is the connection between Unibic and Don Bradman?
So, Unibic carries a heritage from Australia. It was an Australian company and started by a
Mhm.
passionate cricket lover, Michael Quinn at Australia. He envisaged that India can be the best possible market for the future, along with some of the other Indian partners, and thought that why not in India also he should start something like wire cut cookies at early 2003, 2004, 2005 kind of time. And our first brand to market was Bradman Choco Chip, and that's how the association with cricket and Bradman is being there. Now, not anymore. Now we are an Indian, but yes, we carry that legacy and heritage, and we love to talk about it at least in our office whenever someone walks in.
Interesting. Great. Okay, Karthik, as I understand, the Indian biscuits market is almost rupees 50,000 crore. Am I right? And with so many brands already in the fray, competing both on price and value. So, what is your brand positioning, Karthik?
So all credit goes to Michael Quinn, Mr. Nicholson, the initial founders. They thought that why not we provide something to India which is different and yet affordable. So premium, when we talk about, we are the probably largest wire cut producer in India today. We proud to say that we have a fastest lines where we produce wire cut cookies. Two cookies are normally not same when they are out of oven, and that's what people like about us. And we have been maintaining it for now 17, 18 years, 19 years.
And that seems to have worked for you very well. Unibic has been growing by leaps and bounds. In 2020, it crossed rupees 500 crores, and now you are well on the journey of 10x growth. Tell me, how do you balance keeping an ear on the ground and an eye on your people?
See, in my case, what I try, I keep eye and ear both on the ground
Okay.
rather than keeping it on team. We try and work on an environment which is more of complementary. Each leadership in Unibic is not to supervise or administer the team, but actually complement the team. So if something is not going right, how can I value add to it? So we keep answering ourselves that are we diagnosing the problem or are we solving the problem? We stop ourselves if it is coming on diagnose. We try ourselves when it comes on solution. So we keep eye and ear on ground. That's how we work.
One more interesting thing I'm understanding about Unibic is that you are now entering into more segments with the products in protein bars, snappers, biscotti, cubes, finger cookies, and now cakes. So, uh, are you driving the demand or are you addressing the demand?
Depends on the category where we are entering in. So if you go into the category like mass, where we are trying and creating a differentiator when it comes on cake, India knows about cake. When it comes on snack bar, we are along with the many good players. We are on the journey of seeing it that if India can also have a habit of healthy snacking, so there we are probably
Mhm.
driving the demand. In cake, we are addressing the demand.
Got it. And as a sales director, let's say a lot of strategies uh, are discussed in the boardroom, but the point is to get into a on ground execution. So, what have been your biggest challenges is in translating that strategy into execution on the ground?
Is probably the biggest challenge. Actually, a simple answer to this is no strategy itself is being planned to fail. What fails is actually execution. For us, or for me per se, in last 10 11 years with Unibic, the biggest challenge was to allow, or ask people to buy the dream what we at boardroom or we at a management level are being able to see. Okay. Or what we are able to vision, that what company is going to be in next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. When you come on ground, selling that and asking people to buy it is something is very very difficult. And more so when I deal with the large team who's on ground and facing day to day challenges, which are today's challenge. So they don't care about what is going to be Unibic tomorrow. They more care about how I can sail out through today's challenge, and then being a part of your dream. But the whole challenge for me is to convert that dream into reality, and that's only possible when you ask your team to live that dream
Hmm.
and execute
Right.
it every day ruthlessly.
But to be honest, Karthik, I'm moved with this action plan of yours because I do interact with a lot of companies. They they are more concerned and talk about what's the sales today and tomorrow and the growth, but the word dream, that hardly I ever listen from the top management and the leaders. But having that thought implanted, and I'm sure a lot of people would have got this, contagiously from you. Otherwise, this kind of growth would not have been able to be, it was not possible. So, Karthik, you travel so much for the sake of business and across the length and the breadth of the country. So, let me know if there's a funny anecdote or unique experience that sticks in your memory, either with a consumer or a distributor, retailer, your sales team.
सो एक बार एक रिटेलर से हम मिले बॉम्बे में. ही शेयर्ड कंपटीशन प्राइसिंग, ही शेयर्ड इतना डिस्काउंट है, ये डिस्काउंट है, वो डिस्काउंट है. तो मैंने मेरी टीम के सामने बोला कि अगर सर कंपटीशन देता है तो हम देखते हैं हम क्या कर सकते हैं. हम कोशिश करेंगे कि हम. उन्होंने दिखा दिया कंपटीशन का बिल और उसमें सच में देता था.
Hmm.
मैंने कहा सर अब मैं अपनी बात से पलट रहा हूँ, मैं नहीं दे सकता, आप सही हैं. तो माई टीम वाज थिंकिंग कि ये तो बहुत एम्बेरसिंग सिचुएशन है, कैसे डील करेंगे सर. मैंने कहा कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता भाई, कंपनी के सामने कुछ एम्बेरसिंग नहीं है. हमने बोला, हमें
Mhm.
लगा कि कंपटीशन नहीं देता होगा, उसने दिया. मैंने बोला सर आप वहीं से लीजिए, हम तो अभी भी नहीं दे पाएंगे, सॉरी, मैं नहीं दे सकता. आप जो बोलेंगे मैं करूँगा, आप
Hmm.
बोलोगे तो पूरे दिन मैं आपकी स्टॉप पे रहूँ, स्टोर पे रहूँगा, जो आप बोलोगे मैं करूँगा. तो वो रिटेलर इतना इम्प्रेस हुआ, बड़ा रिटेलर था साउथ बॉम्बे का. Then he invited us into his daughter's marriage next month. और वहाँ पे
Okay.
सबके सामने
Okay.
he praised, he introduced, सब कुछ किया उन्होंने. मतलब I was amazed. So these and many emails, many praises when we get from consumers about product. These are the moments which drives us.
Okay. Unibic has been championing the data-driven strategies. So what's your mantra, of leading GTM, which is data-led? So on that, if you could tell the transformation and the ways you are using and achieving these kind of transformations.
Again, as I said, companies and efforts of people like you, FieldAssist, and so on, we are getting ample data. Okay. Now it
Mhm.
is up to us. How should we use it? What we have been, what we have been doing, we are just simplifying it. We are saying, okay, let's solve today's problem.
Hmm.
For solving today's problem, what is required today? Pick up only that data, solve it, move it to the next, rather than solving and trying and creating a larger picture. Because these are the things, as you move on, will keep changing. So today what we do we go deep rural? If our cost is working out in some CFA, we can manage it easily, yes, but otherwise no. Do we target
Mhm.
large store in large town? Yes, we do, because that's how it's a pyramid. So we try and capture the bigger business and then keep moving it down. But should we also target a 5,000 population or 10,000 population town today? No. As we progress, we will target. but today, maybe not. So we are simplifying the usage of data.
Interesting. Great. In your journey, you must have had to pivot your strategy or change direction multiple times to stay on track towards your goals. How do you handle these situations? What does it take to be an agile sales leader?
Okay, so if I articulate it in a professional word, then what we try and do it, we try and find out the cost of failure. If we fail, what is our cost? If we work on that cost of failure and we think that yes, this is what we can manage to afford, we try that. And if we think that it is not going to work for us, we move into something else. That is how we have been doing it. So for every strategy, we try and see that what is our cost of failure, what is the downside, can we manage our downside. If we get answer yes, then we go with it. हम अपनी strategies ऐसे manage करते हैं. We recently did something, did not work out pretty well. One new launch, somehow managed. I could sense that if this would have happened 4 5 years back, everything would have gone on toss for us. But we managed this time because we calculated that cost of failure, and I think it worked to large extent.
Got it. This is again a good mantra, analyzing the cost of failure. Okay, great. I absolutely enjoyed chatting with you today, And I always look forward to talking to passionate leaders like you because there's always something new to learn. And we are very proud to be
Thank
partner
you. Gagan.
with a great brand like Unibic. Thank you again, Kartikay, for being part of this
Thank you, Gagan.
podcast. Yeah.
Thank you.
You were listening to What the FMCG, a podcast series from FieldAssist. Subscribe to the podcast on www.fieldassist.com/podcast or find us on all the major podcast distribution platforms.